It is Wednesday, June 29th, and we are back for episode 31. Today, we are giving our votes for the National League and American League All-Stars, as well as some updates from around the league. We also have another great special guest as former Red Sox
Very special.
fourth round pick Tate Matheny joined us. The NHL season is officially over, and not like we wanted it to be. And then to wrap it up, we'll give our predictions for our last NFC West team, the Arizona Cardinals. Zach, anything to say before we get started?
Really nothing. I'm excited for everyone to hear the interview. It was awesome. We recorded it on Monday,
Yes, Monday.
right? Yeah, Monday night. Awesome. Hope you guys all enjoy it. And I'm excited to talk whatever we're talking today, baseball, because I guess that's the only sport now left.
I know that's a bad thing about summer is that I was telling my dad this the other night. Like it's the only thing we can watch really is baseball. We got
That's bad. That's like the
it's good,
It's
but
very good.
we have some drafts to like NBA draft just happened, MLB draft and NHL draft are happening soon. So those are always
There'd be
exciting.
no help on the MLB or NHL draft.
The NHL's tough because it's all like European guys.
Oh yeah.
So it's really hard to like kind of predict that. But unless you have anything else, we can get it started with our National League All Stars.
Whoa.
Did you see it? Did you see it? I
Come
always
on.
forget. Did you see it? I even have one today. But you can
go
get
first.
me go first.
Yeah.
Okay. So my did you see it was something that not a lot of people probably that listen to this are fond of, and I know you aren't. But
Tennis.
tennis, yes, one of the major tournaments in the world is happening right now, Wimbledon. And it's on round two. Round two started this morning, and with the time zone being different, everything's from like 5 a.m. to 3 p.m. So I've been watching besides today, I've been watching 10 a.m. to about 2. So I get like 4 hours in of it. It's just so fun, man. Because there's 28.
It's so
100.
stupid. I hate tennis because when I was a kid, I would always wake up and turn on Sports Center to watch the highlights, especially the top 10.
Mhm.
Except when one of these stupid tennis tournaments were on, I'd wake up and it'd be tennis and I couldn't watch ESPN. I'm like, what am I supposed to do now?
Yeah. No, I get that for sure. That's how I
It
feel
ruined
with
my childhood.
sometimes they have like PGA bowling on. It's like turn bowling off and just let it go on to something else. But there's 128 men and 128 women. I mentioned in February, my favorite tennis player, and he's now number 6 in the world, and he got eliminated in the first round yesterday, which was like a huge upset. So that was a major letdown. And then Serena Williams has made a
All your
comeback.
players are losing.
I know it's not a good time to
That's
for my
great.
sports fandom. And then yeah, what I was saying was Serena Williams was out for like a year and a half, and even though you're not a tennis fan, you're aware of Serena's dominance
Who's
of the
Serena?
sport.
No, Serena Williams is amazing.
She's one of the best ever, and she's now 40 years old, and she made a comeback yesterday, and um, you could tell her age is caught up
She's
with her. I
actually
guess.
40.
Yeah,
Dang.
I know. But also the rust. She had 56 unforced errors, which just like her hitting it into the net or her hitting it long, like things that like she's just rusty from being gone. And honestly, it might have been the last time we ever saw her. So, but no, it's a lot of fun. I guess it's like golf where there's 4 major tournaments a year. I heard that's how golf works. You know
Yeah.
more golf than me, but
And
they
you
have
also
Wimbledon.
have, I guess, every 4 years you have the Olympics, and you have the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup, which
Okay.
those are very fun to watch.
Okay. It must be very similar because they have Wimbledon, the U.S. Open, the Australian Open, and the French Open. I think those are the main 4, and then they have like you said, like the Ryder Cup. They have different ones like that throughout the year. Because right now it's like PGA season, right? Like they're going and
Yeah, they have tournaments like every weekend, but like the Ryder Cup is America versus Europe. So like there's like a team of Americans, then a team of Europeans, and they do different formats of like play.
gotcha,
And then the President's Cup is the United States versus everyone but Europe. So like Australia,
gotcha.
Japan,
Okay,
China.
okay. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it so far. But that was my did you see it? I wanted to give Serena a little love. I've always loved Serena Williams, but what you got?
Um, My did you see it? I actually just thought of another one. I don't think we mentioned it. I'll just do this one first because I just thought of it. Was Russell Wilson throwing the first pass ever on what was the team at Monaco AC Monaco or something? It was like their soccer field. He posted
Okay.
this video. He's in like pads and like a helmet, just not like the jersey, just the pads. And he like throws a pass. He's like, yeah, first pass ever on. This is the first.
Uh,
It was just so cringy. The
wh-
classic
what's
Russell Wilson.
what's AC Monaco? What is that?
It's a soccer team. It's the soccer
Like
club
here?
in Monaco, which is just basically Monte Carlo. It's like a super small nation.
Gotcha. I saw he was on vacation. Yeah, that makes sense now.
So my other did you see it is Skip Bayless Twitter. And I've always known of Skip Bayless. Used to be on First Take with Stephen A. Two super smart people. And now he's
Yeah.
on Undisputed with Shannon Sharp, another super smart person.
Mhm.
But I never really followed him on Twitter. I know he had like a lot of dumb takes, but his Twitter is gold. So he tweeted out, I'll do the Draymond tweets first, and then there's one about Russell Westbrook. So he said, no, Draymond, the real reason you wouldn't want me on your new media podcast, because it's called New Media, is you fear I'd make you look foolish. You could edit, but you know I'd be tapping on my end. Of course, I'd love to have you on my podcast, but there's no way you'd risk that. So keep making excuses. That was one day ago. Then an hour ago, he said,
Oh my
hey,
gosh.
Draymond Green, there you go again, taking shots at me from a safe distance. Let's go head to head. Your podcast or mine or both. Let's go deep on LeBron or Steph or you or anything NFL since you're the new media. Real talk, not fake tough guy stuff. I'm waiting. Skip wants all the smoke. And then this one is probably one of my favorite tweets I've ever read. It's just so funny. He's like, hey, Russell Westbrook, happy to talk face to face about your nickname, which I believe I originated in 2012. If no one knows the nickname, it's Westbrook because Westbrook's not an amazing shooter, but he's in the NBA, so he's a great player. AJ doesn't think he is. But he said, join me on TV/podcast. Let's talk about how you'll make $47 million next year after being the worst 3-point shooter in the NBA, most overpaid player ever. Please join me.
I mean,
What's
he's
all
not
the smoke?
he's not wrong with the overpaid thing.
I think John Wall is more overpaid than
Yeah, I would go there. I would agree with that.
Russell Westbrook's averaged a triple-double 3 seasons.
I think it's
3
hilarious.
seasons.
all
Everyone's
this-
like, oh, he's padding stats. You go out to like the YMCA and try to get a triple-double. You ain't
It's
getting
tough.
one.
Yeah, it's tough. I think all this podcast beef is pretty hilarious. Hopefully
it's
we can get up those ranks.
Yeah,
and-
should we just start
and
like
join in.
making very mean comments to people to get them mad?
yeah. Because I mean, I think Kendrick Perkins, who's just a big goofball. I don't even
Oh
know
my
how
God, he's
he gets
stupid.
airtime.
Carry the
but-
hell on.
Yeah, he was going after Draymond, and Draymond was going after him, calling him like an awful player. Because I honestly
He
don't-
compared someone to Draymond or like in the draft, right?
Yes, yeah, he did. Is that what like ticked Draymond off?
I don't know. Draymond gets mad at like anything.
Yeah, he does. It is interesting though that in today's era, I guess there's so many podcasts. Like everybody has one.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
I find it
huge
very
now.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, we have one.
Exactly. But let's move on to our MLB segment here. We were supposed to do, you and I discussed this, we were supposed to do NBA, our top 10 players ever today. We're going to push that off till next week because the All-Star starters are like the voting ends the 30th, I believe, or the 1st of July.
So like tomorrow.
Yeah,
is
literally.
the
So
30th.
I want to start in the National League. Do you want to go like how the ballots formed? Like first, I was just gonna go catcher down, like catcher first, second.
Yeah, we can do that. I literally voted like 30 minutes ago and I have
Okay.
my picks up.
Okay. Do you want to go 1 and 1? Like
1 and 1.
like I say mine, you say yours, or you want to do
Yeah, sure. This
okay.
is like who I voted for. Like
Uh-huh.
I may put in some people who probably like also deserve it, but
Okay. So at catcher for the National League, I had Wilson Contreras, but I did want to show some love to Travis d'Arnaud. I was bragging on Travis d'Arnaud a couple weeks ago when we did our catchers list. And looking at the stats, they're very comparable. but Contreras has played 15 more games, and yeah, I mean, I guess he deserves it. I made a TikTok last night. I don't know if you saw it. Did you see that?
I still forget I downloaded TikTok. I'm not a TikToker. I've never got on the
Yeah.
jumped on the bandwagon.
And so it's like a filter that pops up, and it's like a team, and you have to pick a player, and you have to make a team out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
those are like where they like it flashes up. Then I like the ones
Yep.
where they pick like their starting 5 or
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. So I did that, but with a starting 9, and then I did like a bullpen too. But Contreras was my catcher. That's why I was I was saying that. But
Nice.
who do you have as catcher?
I have no idea if I feel like he's hurt right now, but I'm putting on here because I think he should be. Tyler Stevenson,
Dang.
305
Yeah.
average, 5 home runs, 31 RBIs, 829 OPS. If you look at the other guys, let me just change my vote. Wilson Contreras has 272 average, 12 home runs, 32 RBIs, 881 OPS, which is a little higher. And then Travis d'Arnaud, 274, 11 homers, 36 RBIs, 829. So literally like the same stuff. He just has a higher average and less home runs and like the same RBIs.
He's been injured recently, and that's the only reason
what I thought.
That's
so if he
the
wasn't
only
injured,
reason.
he'd probably be batting like 320 and be the first.
Yeah, he literally might be putting up what Kirk is doing in the American League.
I think we should trade for him.
Yeah, we're gonna need one. My first baseman was Paul Goldschmidt, obviously.
If you don't pick Paul Goldschmidt and you pick Pete Alonso, I'm not gonna go too extreme. Just
okay.
Just watch some baseball.
Pete is having a tremendous year, and I think he has like 4 more RBIs, but Goldie's got like 60-point higher average and just all around stat by stat better, easily the MVP
and better defensive player.
Easily. So yeah, he was my first baseman. Yours as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, no arguing there. At second base is where I know we're gonna disagree. I
was looking at a lot of this, and is it just me or is like there's a lot of people who don't seem like they're that good on the National League side?
Oh yeah, totally. Especially
the outfield's awful.
Yeah, the outfield is really bad. But at second base, I had Jazz Chisholm, and the average has fallen off from where it was at the beginning of the year. And honestly, I know we're biased, but if Tommy Edman qualified as a second baseman,
they screwed him over.
Really, they did. He would have been my second baseman.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, I went with Jazz here. He's had a tremendous year, like power wise. His OPS is high. Can run really well. I don't have it written down. I think it's 8 in the 8 or 9s. Yeah.
Well, let me just change my vote and I can look at it.
He was literally
860.
Okay. He like today, this morning, was put on the IL with something. So he won't be playing against us tonight. But who do you have at second base?
Jeff McNeil.
I'm not against that.
I don't like the Mets, but 323 average, 4 homers, 33 RBIs, 837 OPS. Chisholm just has more homers and more RBIs, but and a little higher OPS. But
now, when I was looking at the second baseman, I had no idea McNeil was hitting like that. I thought he was around 300, but what'd you say, 330?
323.
Yeah, that's really, really good. So I think Jazz right now is leading the vote, if I remember correctly. But
and Albie's is second.
Yeah, I don't. That's just like the fans voting because he hasn't played in about a month now, and but yeah, it will be Jazz and McNeil in there both together. But really a toss up on who starts at shortstop. I was really confident for a long time until recently. I had Trey Turner here. What about you?
I picked Tommy Edman just because I wanted him to get votes, but it's going to be Trey Turner.
But how do you feel about Dansby Swanson? Because he has really had a good year, kind of under the radar a little bit.
You still got to go Trey Turner.
Yeah,
he has 2 less homers and better than everything else. Like 3 lower OPS, but.
And I also, with the Dodgers being so successful, I had a hard time only having 1 All-Star starter for them.
Yeah.
So, he was my shortstop. Third base, I put Manny Machado because honestly, like if he was healthy still, because he's been gone for a couple weeks now, and his stats are still higher than Nato.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Really close.
Arenado has more RBIs and more homers.
but Nato will start because Machado's out, obviously, with the ankle injury. So Machado, Nato. I mean, I voted Machado, but it's going to be Arenado. Same
I
for you.
voted Arenado because I'm a loyal person,
Yeah.
but it would probably be Machado.
Okay. And then our 3 outfield spots. I'm just going to name my 3 because I don't do like right, center, and left.
Yeah, I'll just
So
name who I voted for too.
I had Mookie Betts from the Dodgers. Very good season. Actually, the average has fallen off. He's in like the 270s now.
Yeah, 273.
And then Ronald Acuna Jr., even though he hasn't played a whole lot, he has that resume.
Literally better than all of them, though.
Exactly. And then the third one, I had a hard time because I wanted to put a guy like Starling Marte in there. He's had a good season.
That's who I put.
Did you?
Start Marte, Betts, and Acuna.
Okay. That's a good outfield.
I wasn't going to put Jock Peterson. I hate him.
So I was deciding between Starling and then Juan Soto, who's had a bad year, but it's Juan Soto. But I did put Jock Peterson, and I don't like Jock at all either. But his OPS is in the 9s. It's almost 1,000 OPS, which is really good.
Yeah, I still don't care. I'm never voting for him.
I'm not a fan of him at all. But
Juan Soto is playing awful.
He's got power, doesn't he? Doesn't he have like 12 or 13 homers?
Let me find him on the list. 14 homers, 224 average.
220. Ugh. But yeah, I had Mookie Acuna Peterson, and you had Mookie Acuna Marte.
Yeah.
And then
like earlier, like a couple weeks ago, I did a vote, and I picked like Acuna and Betts, and I was like looking for someone else to vote for, and I put Bader.
Yeah. Really? Well, at the time he was
playing pretty good.
Yeah. What was I about to say? Oh, the
DH.
Brian Reynolds. I wanted to mention him real quick. He had 3 homers today, actually. He's up to 15 and batting over 260. He might be getting close to there too. But at DH, I voted Bryce Harper. Obviously, he's not going to play with that broken thumb. So really, it's a toss up, and you're going to get into your guy here. So go for it because he has a chance.
I just voted for Albert Pujols. He doesn't really like deserve it because he's batting 198. But it's Albert Pujols. It could be his last time.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be William Contreras. He's a catcher, not a DH guy. But
yeah, him.
If anyone, it should be Garrett Cooper.
I was talking about Cooper last night because he's batting like 315. He's had a really like under the radar year.
Yeah, it should Cooper, like it's probably gonna be Contreras because he's second in voting, or maybe not. I don't know if they do it. Like Bryce Harper will get it, and then they'll pick everyone else, then replace him.
Yep.
So hopefully that Contreras guy doesn't get it because he doesn't deserve it.
I don't think Albert should be in it, obviously, but no. I think he literally has a chance though, especially with Bryce going down. And then instead of doing the whole pitching staff, which would take quite a while, we're gonna do who we think should start for that game. I had Sandy Alcantara starting that game. And
same, it has to be.
It's got to be. But I had a hard time a little bit because Tony Gonsolin's had an insane year for the Dodgers.
What's his ERA?
1.58, and he's 9-0.
It doesn't even show. His ERA doesn't show up on the Baseball Reference as number 1. It shows Contreras.
Shows who? Or Alcantara,
it shows Alcantara.
So I was curious about the workload because Alcantara is number 1 in innings pitched.
Yeah.
And he's pitched 30 more innings than Gonsolin. He's going like 5 a game. That's why it's probably not popping up. He probably doesn't even qualify.
Oh, got you.
So, yeah, we both agree on Sandy there. But all around, you think, I mean, obviously it's an all-star team, so it's going to be good. But how does it compare, do you think, to past years? And
I don't know. Like, when I look at my list, it just doesn't have that, like, like pop of like, because you're missing like Tatis. Well, I guess Trey Turner's gonna be up there. Like, I don't know. The outfield's just really weak, I think.
I don't like the catcher spot either. And we talked about how catchers are really down.
Like the American League just has way better outfielders.
Easily, yeah. So let's get right into the American League here. At catcher, I had Alejandro Kirk from the Blue Jays. Dude,
same.
Going nuts.
Yeah,
over there in Toronto. He's got like 320.
325, 10 homers, 31 RBIs, 941 OPS.
That's a really good season. And if you look at the other catchers over there, there's like no one even close. And I don't know if you've seen the voting results, but Toronto is voting, and all of Canada is voting like insane.
Like Bo Bichette is second in
Mhm.
shortstop, and he shouldn't
Yeah,
even be in consideration.
exactly. They're kind of doing what the Giants and Cubs did in past years.
Yeah.
So at first base, I really wanted to put Ty France because I love Ty France, and also he's having a tremendous year. He did just get injured. You remember when Albert was at first base and the guy came by and
He broke his in 2011. Yes.
and
I vividly
the
remember that.
hand, yeah,
And he
bent.
broke his
So
wrist.
exactly. So that's what Ty France did the other night.
If you
But
think about it, that 2011, he broke his wrist, was out for a while, came back, and still put up 299 average, 30 home runs, and 99 RBIs. Pretty
yeah,
dang good.
and a huge World Series too.
Yeah.
So, but no, I wanted to put Ty France, but I had Vladdy Guerrero Jr. here. He's really getting hot lately as well. But what you got?
I put Ty France. Like he's
Good.
batting like 40 points higher. His home runs are less. He has one less RBI. His OPS is basically the same. Like I feel like I like voting for the guys who deserve it rather than like guys who like are stars that aren't performing well.
Yep.
Except if I'm attending the All-Star game, then I'll vote for the people I want to see.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know. He's having a great season. You got to get him. He'll be an All-Star. I don't know if he'll be a starter.
It's not a bad choice at all. And I think I just went maybe because of the power of Vladdy, the name of Vladdy also. It's kind of hard seeing him not get it.
Yeah, he's first right now, and France is second in voting.
And me talking about like the big name, it goes for second base too, because I voted Altuve here at second base, but Andres Jimenez for
that's who I have.
Guardians. He's having a really good year.
He's literally he deserves it more than anyone.
He's got
if you look at the
RBIs.
stats, he's batting 310, 8 homers, 35 RBIs, 854 OPS. Altuve 269, 15 homers, 26 RBIs, 881 OPS. So like he's leading them in everything but homers and OPS, but he's close. And he's helping the Guardians. And are they first?
They're second, but it's like a game behind the Twins.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's had a really good season. I again think Altuve is going to get that because it's Altuve, and he's like a year in year out vote getter there. But at shortstop, kind of tough. I'd love to put Tim Anderson here because I love Tim Anderson, but he is obviously been out for quite a while. So I put Xander Bogaerts here.
I did too. He never gets love. I feel like he deserves it.
Yep. And then at third base, I had Jose Ramirez over Rafi Devers. How do you feel about that?
Who'd you have?
At third base, I had Jose Ramirez over Rafi Devers.
Oh yeah, it's no I think it should be Jose Ramirez. No doubt.
I didn't want to put two Red Sox at short and third I didn't want to I wanted to have one Guardian, either Jimenez or Ramirez, and I wanted to have one Red Sox player, either Devers or Bogart. So that's how I did that. But Rafi makes a good case, I think. He's batting like 330, but
yeah,
Jose is
he's not batting 330.
Devers?
He's batting 332.
He's had a crazy year. But he also has, this doesn't go into voting. He has a lot of protection over there with Bogarts and JD. Jose has nobody, and he's still raking. But
299, 16 homers, 63 RBIs.
He's one of your favorite players, isn't he? He's
I love Jose Ramirez. Switch hitter. I love switch hitters.
Let's move on to our three outfield spots.
Two of my outfielders are guys who like you're gonna say. Then my third one is this person I know you're not gonna have on there.
Okay. Well, the two are obvious: Aaron Judge and Mike Trout.
What? Byron Buxton. I'm kidding.
And then my third one's between three guys. So I think Springer will get it probably. But I wanted to give Austin Hayes some love.
That's who I picked.
Okay. He's having such a good year. Like
so
really good year.
282, 11 homers, 45 RBIs, 819 OPS. Higher than like everyone except like Judge, Trout, Springer, then like some other probably one of the other guys you're about like Ward, but Ward's hurt. Right?
Yeah. Recently. But no, Hayes, I voted a few times, and I voted for him first. But my recent one, which was like an hour ago, I voted for Julio Rodriguez of the Mariners.
He's
He
been playing
leads
good.
leads the league in stolen bases still.
270 average, I think.
Yeah, great power, tremendous fielder. Like probably gonna. I don't know if I want to go glove because Springer's out there, Trout's out there, but
Yeah. Trout's
definitely.
not going to win a Gold Glove.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
He
I don't
makes some
watch Trout play
really good
defense
plays
that
still.
much. Yeah.
Springer will probably get it. Springer's defense is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
You don't think like Buxton?
Buxton definitely could. You know what's interesting with Buxton? Because beginning of the season, I would have said Buxton, Trout, Judge, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Buxton has one stolen base.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And he's one
You're
of the
fast.
fastest. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also batting like 220 something, I believe.
Yeah. Has a lot of home runs. He's doing the Matt Carpenter method.
And he's finally healthy. So we were thinking if he's healthy, he's going to be able to put up a tremendous season. But
Psych.
the DH spot, I think, is a given.
It should be.
I had Yordan Alvarez.
Yeah.
But Otani and JD are close-ish.
Yeah,
like,
but Yordan is running away with it.
It's got to be Yordan. And then my starting pitcher for the American League to start the game, he pitched today. He pitched 8 shutout innings, going Justin Verlander.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's had a really good year.
I'm thinking either Moana or McClanahan.
Okay.
McClanahan's leading the earned ERA. According to Baseball Reference, I don't know if that's actually true or not.
It's true. Yeah, you're kind of going with the under the radar guys there.
Yeah, walks and hits per inning. He leads the league in that. Hits per 9 inning, leads the league in that, the least amount.
Mm-hmm.
What else does he lead? He leads in something else. He leads in strikeouts. So he leads in. Let me count them for you. 1, 2, 3, 4 categories. And he's third in WAR for pitchers.
Definitely has a case. 100%.
Yeah, pretty good.
And so does Manoah.
Strikeout to walk ratio. Wait, no, that's his high. Wait, yeah, that's highest. Yeah, that's good.
I'm trying to think.
For a second, I thought that was the other way. I was like,
oh yeah, I know what you mean. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that we're not naming besides those 3.
The Yankees guy. No, not Yankees. Perez.
Martin Perez for the Rangers. Yeah. And
yeah, or
are we talking Cortez from the
Yeah.
Yankees? Nasty Nestor.
The guy from the White Sox is pitching good. Cisse?
I think it's just Cease, don't Cease. But he's an absolute stud, like filthy stuff.
Yeah.
But I agree. The American League does look a whole lot better than the National League. And am I wrong? Hasn't the American League won like 6 straight years, 7 straight years?
Yeah, they win like every year.
Yeah, and I expect probably the same this year. But let's move on to our Cardinals update. I wanted to start off by saying, who do you think will be the Cardinals All-Stars? I have 5. So
who do you think? Okay, let me think. Sorry, I'm confirming my votes right now.
Okay.
For, you start talking. I got to do this so I don't forget.
Yeah. So I had Paul Goldschmidt, obviously.
Yeah, if he's not in it, him and Arenado should be a given, and Tommy Edmonds should be in it too. I know I told you were going to talk, but I just had to get that out of me.
I agree definitely with those 3. And then my 2 other ones.
Helsley,
definitely.
And I know who you're going to say.
Who's that?
Michaelis.
Yes, Michaelis. Those are my 5. I'd love to have Waino, but Michaelis, I don't think they're going to have us have 6 All-Stars. It seems like a ton. I think 5 is even stretching it. I wouldn't be surprised if like Helsley, even though he's got a 0.3 ERA, left
or
off.
Michaelis may not even get in.
Yeah, because he's like, I know they don't look at record a whole lot anymore, but he's 6-5, I think. So
yeah,
but he's got like he's obviously we've seen him every 5th day, and he's
is his ERA still under 3?
It's 2.6. Yeah,
he should get it then.
He definitely deserves it. But what's happened over these last few days to this week is we lost 2 to the Cubs, 2 out of 3 to the Cubs, I should say.
Shouldn't have happened.
No, that was a rough one. But then we won the first 2 versus the Marlins. The third one's tonight.
Should sweep them.
I have a trade. You mentioned last week Flaherty for Montes.
I'm kind of all for it now because I don't know. Flaherty's just kind of annoying me.
I agree. I
With
have
all due
another.
respect.
I have another name besides Montes
Um,
that I've thought about.
the guy from the Rangers, Perez.
I'm not against that either because I like left. We need another lefty, I would say.
Yeah.
But let's see if you can guess my guy here. I'm thinking of NFC, NL West
NL West.
starting pitcher.
Guy from the Rockies.
Yes,
I don't remember his name. I saw it.
Marquez.
Mark. Yeah.
So Marquez has like a 5.50 ERA this year, which is
Really?
awful. But
But he
he's
does play in
also
Colorado.
exactly, and he's had past years of success.
Mm.
And obviously, the Colorado Rockies are not playing for anything, and we have the trade like experience with them already from last year.
Mm.
I would do Burleson
Yeah.
and throw in
Gomez.
something like that, unless they want a pitcher, and then you could go. There's a guy in Double A which I really like, Gordon Graceffo. You could throw him in there, and Marquez. I was like, I don't know. I thought Marquez was like 32. He's only 27 years old,
Really?
which is, and Montes is turning 30.
Yeah. So
So
I kind of like that
yeah,
because I think he's always been like his ERA has been high, but he's also played in Colorado where if you hit one in the air, it's 90% chance it could be a home run.
yes, and
I wonder what his ERA away from Coors is.
yeah, I bet it's pretty good because he was an All-Star last year.
Was he?
Yeah, or maybe the year before, but he has that experience. I'm not against the Montes thing either, but Marquez,
They're gonna want way more than for Marquez, I think.
wanting more for Montes than Marquez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry, I was typing at the same time, and sometimes when I do that, I like say the words I'm typing.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Montes, I know they mentioned they wanted either Gorman or Walker. I've mentioned that in the past. And obviously, now that we've seen what Gorman can do, he's not.
Yeah.
You can't trade him.
Should we just trade him straight up for Flaherty? Straight up, they may not even take him after Flaherty's
I
been
know.
sucking.
I know. It's terrible. And I just don't like the body language Jack's showing. When Jack's on, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball, obviously, and he's our ace. But I would trust going into the postseason with a healthy Michaelis, Wainwright, and Marquez. And then whatever else you got going on there. Hudson's been a little up and down, but his ERA is still like 3.80 or something like that. Like
he's been pitching good.
And Matt's pitched last night 2 innings, 1 run, I believe it was, 3 strikeouts. So I think he's got like 3 or 4 more rehab starts because they want to really make sure he's okay.
Yeah. After Flaherty's debacle.
And then what do you think bullpen wise? Because you mentioned the other day we need somebody, and I'm leaning that way with you. I think when Matz comes back, Palante to the bullpen will really help out.
Mm-hmm. And
Hicks, obviously. But have you seen what Junior Fernandez has been doing?
Has he been doing good? I really
8 1/3 no runs given up since he's come up.
Give him a chance.
He looks electric.
I think you gotta keep Zach Thompson up too, and just DFA McFarland and your boy.
I'm with you guys. Yeah, I'm with you guys.
Even Wittgren.
So we also have
Packy Naughton. I think's been pitching like solid too.
Yep, he's been fine. And Oviedo's look ridiculously filthy. And you remember when Oviedo was a starter, he couldn't go 5 innings, or he couldn't go past 5 innings, I should say, because he would, that third time through the order, people would catch on. He's got electric stuff. When you just see him one time, you can't. It's insane stuff. But I think they help out. I do agree with you, though. We need somebody that's really proven instead of these young guys.
Yeah, and we need someone who can like not only pitch when we're even our head, but also just keep us close.
Yes. Yep.
Because I swear every time we're like down by like 3 runs or something, we put in Verhagen, Whitgren, or McFarland, and they give up like 5.
Yes, I agree.
Like how we lost the Cubs game, we're up 5, and you put Whitgren in, and he sucks.
Out of those 3, I have a hard time seeing they're going to DFA them all, but I could see McFarland, Verhagen going. As everybody knows,
I think better than him.
As everybody knows, I was really high on Verhagen, but because what ticks me off, bro, is that he'll throw some kind of like backdoor curveball that looks so good.
Yeah.
and then he'll hang something right over the middle of the plate. And it's just like, are you kidding me? But I'm with you guys. DFA him and McFarland, but you would keep Whitgren because I'm leaning that way too.
Yeah. Whitgren pitched okay in the beginning of the year. He hasn't pitched as good recently, but McFarland and Verhagen have, I think, looked worse. Yes. Especially McFarland. You gotta just say adios.
Sadly, yes. I like him a lot. Especially what he did last year, but you have to part ways. But I had a couple headlines from what has happened these last, I guess in the last week. Goldie is obviously being Goldie still. Arenado is starting to heat up again.
Yeah.
Starting to hit the ball
I also
hard
like,
again.
you know how at the beginning, like couple weeks ago or a month, when we were talking about who to trade for someone, and we're like, let's throw in like Yepes. I think you can't trade him now.
Oh no, you can't. No way. Dude is like hitting missiles. It's insane. I'm trying to think. Oh, this is what I was going to ask you. Who's the rookie of the year? Because it's got to be one of our three, right?
Yeah,
got to be
Yepes,
Yepes, Donovan, or Gorman. Yeah, I think it's Donovan too. But yeah, it's crazy seeing these young guys come up and really help out the team. I saw we have the second most MLB debuts this year.
Yeah,
and the other three teams in the top four are the A's, the Orioles, and I think it was the Pirates. So it's like three really bad teams and then us. Yeah. So it's really cool to see.
Donovan's becoming one of my like favorite players. He just like every time I watch him, which I can't because it's another thing that's been making me mad, is my TV with Bally Sports app. Every time I try to get on, it just does the loading sign and I can't watch anything.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what my TV brand is, but every time I watch Brendan Donovan, every count is like 3-2, and he has like 8 pitches, and then he puts the ball in play. It's awesome. He
is your ideal player. Like out of all the players you like
ideal, like 2-hole hitter too.
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
Every time on MLB The Show, I've been like the last years I'd put like Carlson leading off or Edmund, and then that 2-hole, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't like Goldie there just because like you want more people to get on base, but he's like perfect. Yeah,
I was surprised you haven't been gushing over him more on here because that is literally your type of guy. Yeah. He's had a tremendous year.
Hitting over 300 still.
And you mentioned last night Dylan Carlson heating up.
Yes,
and he's really starting to hit the ball hard.
And his on base is up to like 329 now, and his average is at 258. And I think he's going to keep getting climbed because he was hot before he got hurt, and then he got hurt. But I think he's going to be crucial, especially with O'Neill and Bader out, and because he could hit in the 5 or 6 hole or this 2 hole if Donovan's not playing, or they want to put Donovan in the 5 hole or something. Yeah, and his defense is really good.
Tonight, Edmund's getting the night off, and they have Donovan the leadoff and Carlson in the 2 hole. So
is Goldie playing or not?
Yep, Goldie, Nato, and then we're going to see Connor Capel get a couple at bats for the first time. Did you know that his godfather is Roger Clemens?
I saw that. I watched the interview of Roger Clemens.
I thought that was. I would have never guessed that was him just looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
Like it kind of caught me off guard, but. Besides that, we have a 7-game road trip. He really has. He's always been bigger, but yeah, he's gotten fat. But we have a 7-game road trip coming up after this. It's going to be tough. We got 3 in Philly and 4 in Atlanta. We have Thursday off, but that starts Friday. So got to bring our A game for those 2 series.
I wish Atlanta was on the weekend. I could go. It's only like 4 hours away from here.
Huh. You know, we should do that if later this summer I get the chance to come down there.
Well, they're not. They only play at Atlanta like once.
But even like any Atlanta game.
Oh, true.
I think that'd be sick because I haven't been there before. I've driven past it, but
yeah,
I don't have a whole lot from around the league besides that Mariners Angels brawl.
Okay, I was like, you have to mention that.
That was insane.
That was awesome.
One of the best actual brawls I've seen in baseball in a while. We constantly make fun of like how baseball fights are really wimpy and lame.
It's just like guys flipping each other off.
Yeah, and you sent me that video, and that video sums it up perfectly. But yeah, I mean, what else do you want to say about it? You kind of just have to see it to.
Yeah, it was. You got to check it out.
Yeah,
I will say, I don't know. Winker was like, okay, you got hit.
Mm-hmm. He kind of out of line a little bit,
and then he he was had very confidence in himself as he ran over to the Angels dugout by himself to take on the whole team.
Yes.
So got to give him props for that. But the Mariners were obviously seemed a lot more mad about it than the Angels because
Oh yeah.
a lot of them were like still trying to go after him even after they like calming everything down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. JP Crawford was on top throwing some punches, and
Julio Rodriguez is running around.
Julio was going
Suarez.
nuts. Yeah. that was a legit one, and they play each other 10 more times. So
Yeah, I hope there's 10 more fights.
I don't think it's going to be over, but I was
It
looking
will
around
whenever everyone gets suspended and they have like their AAA teams playing.
yeah, everybody's gonna like run out of options because you have to send them up and down. But I was looking around the league because usually I try to find teams that are hot and cold and talk about why they're hot and cold. But it's very interesting. No team, the worst team right now in their last 10 are 3-7. So there's no insanely bad. Everybody is just one team. Also, I think it was the Cubs. Everybody else,
except all their wins were against us.
Exactly. But everybody else is like 4-6 and above. So kind of just everybody hanging around 500. And then my one team I wanted to talk just a little about here because we talk about them a lot, it seems like. But going right now, obviously the Yankees have had the best season in baseball. They're 50-22.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they have any weaknesses to their team?
Yeah, they're hit the home run or die kind of team.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I also think
every team, I think they mentioned that about the Cardinals because we had like the lowest strikeout percentage, and the Brewers, they get like the most percentage of the runs by home runs. And they said, I think, yeah, whenever we played them on the broadcast, they said, I think it was when it was on Fox, maybe, they said that teams that in the postseason that have like won the last so many years have always had like one of the lowest strikeout percentages, and teams that like who hit the most home runs usually don't do as well just because it's such a short, like only 3 games. You have to win like 4 games or 3 games. Like you can go cold for 3 games pretty easily, but not striking out is, I don't know. It plays better.
Yeah, I agree. They're very much home run or nothing. And also I just, they have to get over that hump. Kind of like with the Avs, and we're going to talk about the NHL in a little bit, but kind of what they had to do is kind of just prove it, I guess, and get over that hump because they haven't been to a World Series since 2009, I believe. And so also health is a big thing for me because obviously in the back end of their bullpen, they have Clay Holmes back there right now, and he's filthy. But Chapman's been up and down, hurt and inconsistent. And then I'm just waiting, and I hope it doesn't happen. But Aaron Judge is a big man, and he gets injured quite a lot. So I'm waiting for that one tweak of a hamstring running after a ball, or
kind of like O'Neal. They're like
very
so
much.
like
yes,
ripped,
Stanton.
you get hurt.
Yeah. So
Stanton's more durable than Judge, I'd say.
He is. And we didn't mention Stanton earlier for DH, but I think he was like 4th.
He's in the outfield.
Also. Oh, outfield. That's what I meant. Yeah. But yeah, I think they have a really good chance of making a deep run in the postseason. I mean, I would be stupid not to say that, but hopefully for their case that they stay healthy. But let's move on to our next segment, the NHL. Not a whole lot to talk about here besides the Stanley Cup champions are the Colorado Avalanche, and that game 6.
All right, time to move on to NBA.
Yeah, I picked them to win in 6 actually before the series started, but I told you, I think it was 2 episodes ago, maybe last episode, when they went up 3-1, I thought it was going to go 7. And they won in Tampa Bay. So Cale Makar won the Conn Smythe, which is like the most outstanding player of the entire playoffs. And then Darcy Kemper, I have to say he proved me wrong, even though I don't think it was him being outstanding. It was their team defense in front of them. And then I don't know if you saw they dented the cup. Did you see that?
The guy saved it so bad. It's good. He fell down, dented it, then like rotated it really quickly and was posing for the picture.
Yeah. So he like slipped going into the picture, I guess, in front of the picture, something like that, and dented the top of the cup. But it's kind of sad it's all done. I thought the playoffs were really fun this year. I got to wait till October for more hockey, but do you think the Lightning are done? Do you think now they've been to 3, you think they're out of steam and they gotta
maybe they'll for sure they'll still be good? I don't know if they'll win it next year.
I don't think they make the cup next year.
No.
I think it's going to be really hard to make it to
Yeah.
4 straight cups. That's a lot of hockey being played,
Yeah.
and only a couple months off every year. So, um, that's really all I had for the NHL.
Yeah, I don't
Though.
want to talk anymore because it just get me mad about
Yeah,
a certain person on
yes,
in their organization.
I was pretty bitter watching that. But let's get on to the NBA then. So, the NBA draft happened, and we haven't really summed it up or reflected. I guess there's another word I'm looking for there of
Nice.
what happened.
That was a good vocabulary word.
Thank you, appreciate it. But what do you think about the draft? Any standouts or any surprises?
I did watch it. I think the Houston Rockets got the best player in the draft, Jabari Smith.
You
I
said
think
that, and I agree. Yep.
Like Paolo Banchero is going to be good, but I think he's going to be like a James Harden, Bradley Beal kind of person, where they always put up their points, but their team don't do great. Or well, I guess James Harden's teams play good. Maybe not James Harden, but like
he's not a team guy. He's a solo guy, solo stats guy.
I just think he's going to take a lot of shots and have a bad field goal percentage.
Do you think he's a winner?
I don't know. I don't know. I want to say no. That's my hot take. No.
I'm leaning that way too. I could see what you're talking about for sure.
But like Jabari Smith, he shot like over 40% in college, like 43% from three, like tall, athletic. Like I think him with Porter and Green fits way better than Banchero. So I'm happy the Houston Rockets got him because I think he's going to take good shots and make more shots.
You mentioned the Banchero with Porter and Green not fitting well. You make a really good point. Smith does fit a whole lot better with them.
I think he takes smarter shots and he shoots at a better clip.
And our viewers are very what's the word I'm looking for? Like they have heard your Chet criticism in the past.
Have they mentioned stuff about it?
No. But I'm sure they. I mean, you talk whenever.
I'm sure they agree with me. Yeah, smart.
Do you think he'll thrive in OKC?
I like him going to OKC. I like OKC's team now with Giddey, Shea, Dort. I love Dort. The other skinny white guy,
Pulevesky, yeah.
And then Chet Holmgren. I think they called him the Slim Towers. That's their nickname now.
That's pretty nice. Yeah, I like that.
But I think he'll be fine. He as I've said, he has to gain muscle or he's gonna like snap his arm in half.
Yeah.
But I think he'll be good just because he's tall and lengthy and he can shoot. He's kind of like a Dirk. I really just didn't like him because he went to Gonzaga. And I don't like his face. With all due respect.
I like his fit there because he doesn't have to do too much, I don't think. You don't have high expectations. None of those top teams.
I think he's going to go in there and average like 14 a game.
Yeah, I'm totally with that as well. I think he's going to play really good defense, especially help defense coming over blocking.
I do think because of his size, he's gonna have a slump at the end of the year just from getting beat up by like a bit like Embiid or Jokic, guy who like Embiid against him, he'd probably just like.
Yeah. You're gonna have to bring help every single time they try to ISO on him. But I guess besides that, do you have any sleepers in the draft?
Yeah, I do have a couple, but a couple other picks I did like were the Kings and Pistons. Kings picked Keegan Murray and Pistons picked Jaden Ivey. I think Ivey and Cade Cunningham would be kind of fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
And Keegan Murray's a good shooter for I think the Kings. Then my sleepers, they're in the second round. I figured I had to go later for my sleepers. One is a guy who at one point was projected a top 5 pick, and that is Jaden Hardy. He went the G League route.
Okay.
Which I'm kind of I'm not happy he fell for his own personal interest, but I'm happy he fell because I feel like that'll make people not want to go to the G League route because I think the college route's better.
That's a good one.
Especially now with the NIL, you'll probably make more in college if you're a really good player. But like, I think he's good. Like, their main knock on him is his efficiency, but he led their team in scoring still. And I watched like clips of him, and his shooting stroke just looks good. Like you can tell people who shoot poorly and they shoot from three and their stroke just looks terrible. He looked like really smooth. He's really explosive. I think he will fit good with Doncic, and maybe he could be that kind of like fill that Jalen Brunson role, because I don't know if they're going to re-sign him.
Jalen's gone. I
Yeah.
saw the other day. Jalen's dad is a Knicks assistant now, and they've cleared money recently by trading off Nerlens Noel, and
Yeah, classic
somebody else
Knicks
was in
doing a
there.
stupid move. He's not
So
worth that much money.
no, they're going to get Jalen. I wanted to comment on your Hardy pick though. Seeing his highlights, he looks like an NBA guy. Like he's a
Mhm.
freak athlete.
Just
And
his like, he just like his, I don't know. He just looks like it.
yeah, so I'm with that one. And he was the 37th pick. Is that correct?
Yeah, and then my other one was Kidney Chandler. He went to the Grizzlies
Huh.
right after,
Okay.
and I think he'd be like perfect as a backup to John Morant. I remember watching him. I picked Tennessee to win the national title, and they obviously didn't. But watching him play in like the SEC tournament and in the tournament, he's a super good shooter, super like fast and dynamic. I think he's 6 foot. He's not tall. He's as tall as
Mhm.
me. So that's his only knock. But I think he'll be like a good like 6-man role player. Could, even if he's playing really good, be in like the more crucial minutes. But
I like that as well because we see guys like Tyus Jones, Monte Morris, those undersized guards that come off the bench and really succeed. Monte was traded today to the Wizards. I think he's going to have a tremendous
Monte Morris.
Monte Morris. Yeah,
Oh wow.
for
Why? Who
him
did they
and
trade him for?
the Nuggets traded him and Will Barton for KCP.
Contavious Caldwell Pope.
Yeah, that's a bad one, right? For the Nuggets, I think it's a complete steal by the Wizards.
That's stupid. I'm like,
I know.
Monte Morris is like a 6-man.
Oh yeah,
I'm kind of like dumbfounded.
I know. And Tyus Jones is a free agent, I believe, and I think he's going to get. I could see him with the Celtics really thriving there as a point guard. But
Jeez.
are you still
I'm
shocked?
still, yeah, that's
Yeah.
stupid.
Yep. But
I
what
don't
were we
even
talking
think
about?
2K would have accepted that trade.
Oh no way. No, Chandler though. I agree. He was a freshman, so he's very young.
Mm.
But yeah, he can really learn under Jaw because Jaw's not a big guy either. I think Jaw's probably 6'2" or something like that. So
Maybe 6'3". A lot of
he
those
might
guys,
be.
like Steph Curry, how tall do
Yeah.
you think he is?
They list him at 6'3", but I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
he's 6'3", but he looks
Yeah.
like he's 5'9", 10.
Exactly. So no, I like that. My sleeper was not that far down in the draft, but I had Jalen Duren, who flip-flopped around. I think he's in Detroit now. I think he ended up
I have
going in.
no idea.
I think he was drafted where we said he was going to get drafted, 9th to the Spurs, I thought. And then he went to like the Knicks. And then I think he's with the Pistons.
He
I'm
got
almost positive.
drafted 13th. Yeah, Pistons from Hornets via Knicks.
That's right. Okay. So he's in Detroit where Jaden Ivey, like you mentioned, and Cade Cunningham and Sadiq Bey, and everything's pointing towards Miles Bridges joining them as
Mhm.
well. So he's the
And
four.
to Detroit.
Yes, everything's
I
pointing
kind of
that
like
way.
that.
They might surprise some people, and I'm
Yeah.
not talking a deep playoff run, but I'm talking maybe a play-in, which
Yeah.
for Detroit basketball, it's a big improvement.
Yeah.
But Jalen Duren at the 5 there, I think he's going to work with some tremendous playmakers like Ivy and Cade Cunningham, and I think he's
Mhm.
going to have a really
Yeah.
good season and could be up there for Rookie of the Year. That's
And
like
they have another, so they have 2 good centers up there now. 2 athletic defensive centers
Isaiah
in Detroit.
Stewart. Yeah.
A lot
Yep.
of as I'm kind of looking through like who teams picked, a lot of teams picked guys who I think fit well with like their team.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you kind of
Yep.
just scroll through, the one pick that I didn't even know this guy was in the draft. He played for Wake Forest, Jake LaRavia.
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
watched him against Clemson and he played awful. I was like, this guy sucks. But apparently he's better because he got drafted 19th overall. So that's
He went to Memphis, right?
yeah, he got drafted above Walker Kessler. Who else? Blake Wesley. Blake Wesley dropped like 20 in the first half against us.
Yeah. Yep.
Ty Washington, I take him over him.
Ty was one. Where did Ty go? 28th, something like that.
To the Rockets.
It was later in the first round, wasn't it?
Yeah, 29.
Because the Raptors picked 33rd, and we needed another playmaking guard with Freddie.
Mhm.
And I was thinking Andrew Nemhard's Canadian, so I heard a lot of people were talking about the Toronto wanted the hometown
He
guy,
got
him,
picked already
and he went 30
to the Pacers.
Yeah, 2 picks before the Raptors picked. And I was
He's
like,
going to be a guy
oh,
who I think is going to be like another guy, like probably like a Monte Morris, who's going to be
oh
like
yeah,
good.
smart guard, can take care of the ball,
Yeah.
and
I don't really know why the Pacers took a guard because they have a lot, but
they have a ton of guards. Yeah. Back to Ty though. Ty kept falling in the draft, and I was like, shoot, like keep falling because
yeah.
he just like kept getting closer to the Raptors pick. I was like, I'd take a steal on him completely, but the Raptors went with Christian Coloco out of Arizona. They finally have a big. I don't know how much time he's going to even see the floor next year, but we've been running Precious Achua at our center at 6'8", and Embiid absolutely cooked us that entire series. So we needed a center and we got him. So hopefully, I mean, it's kind of like a long athletic project, which the Raptors have tons of those. So I think he kind of fits well. But I'm trying to think of anything else that stood out in the draft.
I guess we should give credit to EJ Little. He's from Belleville, Illinois. He got drafted 41st to the Pelicans, and I think that's a great pick for them. He's slid. I would pick him above Jake LaRavia.
He kept falling. Like
Trevor Keels too is 42, and he kept falling. He
was a projected first round pick.
Clemson, he's big.
He was a projected first round pick last year. Like throughout the year, I guess.
Taken him to the Raptors.
I know. Yep. I agree with that. But I'm trying to think of anything else. NBA wise, though, there was a massive trade that happened like an hour before we filmed, or a few minutes even before we filmed. DeJounte Murray to the Hawks to team up with Trae Young for, I think it was Gallinari and a first.
3 firsts.
3 firsts. Okay.
I think. Let me look.
That sounds a whole lot more I don't know, deal worthy than just a 1 first round pick and Gallinari. But I mean, Trae Young and DeJounte Murray is kind of a weird combination because DeJounte is a ball dominant guy. He's not a great shooter, but he's a great facilitator. And Trae obviously always has
really good defensive.
Yeah. So I wouldn't really call one a point guard and one a shooting guard there. I think they're kind of both going to take care or handle the ball kind of equally. But yeah, kind of an interesting combo of guys.
All right, I'm still looking. Woj didn't give a lot of information, so he's canceled. All right, sports.
I think you're right with the 3 first. As you're looking at, I can keep talking about the Lakers here. The Lakers drafted.
Oh God! All right, let's go to NFL. I'm not doing this.
I don't. Yeah,
it's Danilo Gallinari, 3 first-round picks and a future pick swap. So sweep. Don't have to talk about the Lakers. Moving on.
We can move on though, because the Lakers didn't do much. They got a draft pick, and it was the
Max Christie. Yeah,
Max Christie. So
that was a great pick.
He's a shooter.
Not as good as like Trevor Keels.
I know there was a lot of other options where it surprised me when they picked him.
Yeah, Lee Jam not picking too great.
No, he's not.
Yeah, so
but
the Arizona Cardinals.
We can move on to the Cardinals because we have a ton of NBA to talk about next week that we'll probably get into it with. That'll be fun. But the Cardinals,
I am just so ready to just put you in your place.
The Cardinals are our last NFC West team. This segment's kind of flying by with the NFL.
It has.
But this might surprise you. I don't know if this is like a hot take. I have the Cardinals at 8-9 this year. What do you think?
I had them at either 12 or 11 wins, and that is because this is how I did it. They always start out the season hot. So they're going to win week 1 against the Chiefs just because they always do something at the beginning of the year where they're like, the Cardinals are going to win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're going to beat the Chiefs. 5-0 last year.
Yeah. So they're going to beat the Chiefs, beat the Raiders, lose to the Rams, I think. Beat the Panthers, Eagles, Seahawks.
I was waiting for it.
And then they're going to beat the Saints or the Vikings, and they're going to lose to the other. Then they have the Seahawks, so like they could put their 3rd string in and win. They lose against I had them beating the Rams once, because I'm like, they're gonna do it somehow, or maybe this week because they're gonna go on a little slide. Heck, they probably could even lose to the Seahawks. Then they'll come back and beat the Rams, and everyone's gonna be like, oh yeah, they're back. And then I think they'll beat the 49ers one game, and then they're gonna lose to like the Chargers, Patriots, Broncos, Buccaneers, and then beat the Falcons in week 17, and then like win or lose against San Francisco to like get in.
Yeah. So are you saying 11-6?
I said 11 or 12. I'll go 11-6.
Okay. Dang. Okay. So last year for me it was like they made the playoffs and they lost to you guys, right? Or no, they lost to the Rams.
Lost to the Rams. The first round.
That's right.
What kind of question was that? You already knew the answer.
Sorry, yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. I was getting the red mixed up with the Niners.
Right, just wait till next week.
The Cardinals.
Hand gloves are off now.
So Murray was really not the same that he started this. Like you were talking how they start hot. He was not the same. Like he was an MVP candidate the first 7-8 weeks. Yeah. And then he really kind of teams either figured him out or he lost like
his mojo.
His mojo. Yeah, I'm having trouble like wording this right now. But in the playoffs, especially against the Rams, that was not a hit at you. I actually did mess that up. But he was not very good against the Rams. And so they need him to be himself throughout the whole year. And I have them at 8-9 because I don't think he's going to do that with D-Hop out the first 6 weeks. They have Marquise Brown, who's
they have him, AJ Green, and Rondell Moore.
See, that doesn't scare me.
Andy Isabella.
That's what one of my big worries is for them is that they have James Conner and they lost Chase Edmonds, but they have Darrell Williams from Kansas City. So
Darrell Williams.
I think they're gonna have to run the ball more than letting Kyler kind of just create for himself.
Yeah. And they drafted, I believe Keontae Ingram, a running back in the 6th round. So
okay.
USC.
So I'm just kind of worried for him. And especially in such a tough division, like we've talked about all 4 weeks we've been doing this. I think Marquise Brown will have a tremendous first half of the season because I think he's going to get so many targets. And so if we're talking fantasy, I'm not going to lie, I think he could be a top. I don't know. I don't want to say anything too crazy, but he's going to be a top receiver
because he always has good years. He just drops the wide open ones for the touchdown. So he may get like good yards, just not get you the points.
But now with like a quarterback, and I'm not here for Lamar Jackson hate, but Kyler's a better passer than Lamar.
Yeah.
And so I think he's going to get more, obviously, if he doesn't drop those open ones, he's going to get opportunities to really shine. But what do you think about their defense?
I think their defense is solid.
Okay.
They've always said good. I know you're going to be like, oh, yeah, you like him just because he went to Clemson. But Isaiah Simmons is a freak.
He's good. He's very good.
Like in Clemson, he played linebacker, outside linebacker, safety. He's like, and he ran like a 4.4. He's just as fast as like Travis Etienne. So electric athlete, tall, big wingspan. He really started playing good last year, and I think he's going to play even better this year. He's going to be a star. They have JJ Watt, who's going to be good until he gets hurt. Marquise Golden, I believe he played at Mizzou.
He did. Yep.
He'll be he's kind of old now though, but he's always like been solid.
Yeah.
Their defense is going to be, I think, solid. They have Budda Baker, who's good.
Very good. So they were 11th in total defense last year.
They also have Zach Ertz, and they drafted another tight end, Trey McBride.
So I guess them being 11th in total defense, I think that was going by yardage given up combined, which kind of surprised me because I think they have stars, like you said. Like JJ is older, but still very good defensive
Still
end.
Better than a lot of other defensive ends.
When healthy is the key for him. Budda Baker is one of the top safeties in the league. And who was the other big name you mentioned? Oh, Isaiah Simmons. Yeah. So I mean, he's a growing
stud.
Yeah, I was going to say
MVP candidate.
But he's a really good player. So they have those 3 major guys, but I don't see the depth in the defense. And so
if they get like one person hurt, they're kind of screwed at that position.
That's why I'm kind of worried about them for this year. But do you have anything else really on them?
Not really. I think they're gonna do like what they've always done, get hot and then kind of fall apart. But
Yeah.
I think it just still shows that Kirk Kingsbury's I don't know if that's no, what's his name? Cliff.
Kingsbury. Yeah.
I think there's
Klingsbury,
another guy named
Kingsbury?
Kirk somewhere, and he's like a sports
Okay.
guy somewhere.
All right.
Cliff, yeah. I still don't like think his offense it works in the NFL, just the air raid, like Texas Tech offense, basically.
Yeah. Just the explosive offensive.
I still think running
mindset.
the ball, if you like running the ball is still just as important as passing the ball.
Yep. Yep. My final analysis was that they should be better than 8 and 9, but D Hop going down really hurts them.
Yeah.
And, like I mentioned before, I'm not really high on their wide receivers besides Marquise. And I'm not high on their defense either. But I mean, I think your take is very possible though, of them getting hot at the beginning and then falling off.
They always do. But they don't have D Hop, so maybe they'll get hot at the end. maybe this is good for him.
Yeah.
Because I think the last years D Hop's been hurt at the end of the year. So
he has. Yep. He has. So should be interesting. What's our next division here? North, NFC North. Is that all we got left for NFC?
I think so.
We did
Southwest, yeah.
East. Yeah. So we got
North.
NFC North. Who you want to start with? NFC North.
Trying to think who's in the Bears, Packers,
Vikings,
Vikings, and the Lions. Let's do the Lions.
Okay, start from the bottom.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe the bottom. I'm not real high on the Bears this year, but yeah. So again, we hope you enjoyed that Tate Matheny interview. We plan to have more interviews coming up in the next few weeks here, and this will be out Friday. So whenever everybody's listening to this, will be Friday or after. So we'll be back early next week for more sports. And
yeah, because we're taking off for the 4th of July weekend. Go celebrate America. Go.
Is that this weekend?
Go. Yeah, go shoot some fireworks, eat some hot dogs, hamburgers, and drink a Bud Light or Budweiser.
Is that is 4th of July Monday?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll be back.
Work.
We'll be back. Yeah, that's good.
And my family's coming down this weekend, so
we'll be back Tuesday or Wednesday next week with more sports. Probably a very heated conversation about the top 10 players of all time in the NBA.
You guys will all agree with me.
But besides that, we will see you guys next time.
See you guys.